How you guys doing today? So on today's episode of the Playbook, me and Joe go through the intro. We talk about X's and O's with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP again. We talk about the Chiefs versus the Lions next week. We talk about our records. Joe has me at the moment. We'll go over our best and worst picks from week 3. We will pick week 4. We will talk about the games. Joe is stepping away from betting because we lose too much money. Then we will talk about the best 2 quarterbacks in college football. Number 1, Justin Herbert. Number 2, Ian Book. And we will talk about fantasy. And PSA, I drafted the best team ever. My first 3 picks were Antonio Brown, Patrick Mahomes, and Saquon Barkley. One of the 3 is playing. This is the end of my PSA. Enjoy the show, and please pray for me. Thank you. What's great, football fans? I'm Rob Planner. I'm with Joe Hackett. This is the Playbook. Joe, let them know how you feeling.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go, son. Game day. We took a week off. We're back.
We did. We had a little early bye week. Just like the Jets this week, probably the best possible thing that could have ever happened to not have to watch the Jets play football this weekend. Mm-hmm. So, we had a little week off. Life comes. But, we're back on it. 1 bye week, 17 weeks. We going strong here. Me and Joe, we'll figure it out. But we're coming to you, the Playbook, under the Sports Opinions Podcast umbrella. And we are going to be talking week 3, and we're going to be predicting week 4. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with X's and O's. And the X's and O's for this week, we're taking a look at the Chiefs. Probably the best team in football, Joe. What do you think about the Chiefs as a team?
They're top 2 at least. You look at what the Patriots are doing, what they're doing defensively rather than offensively, I think is very special. But what the Chiefs are doing offensively rather than defensively is very special. So I think those are the top 2 teams in football.
Definitely. And Joe, I agree with that. And just speaking of some points I'm going to make here about offense and defense with the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense is not great. Let's just start off with that. It's not a great defense. And honestly, the Ravens, if Lamar's inability to throw the ball accurately 25, 30 yards downfield was exposed in every way, shape, or form, because that game it's a win for the Ravens if he can complete a pass down the field accurately. That was what the issue was. I mean, there was so many blown coverages. There were guys open downfield. I mean, Hollywood Brown made one catch on the sideline. Great catch. Reminded me of the Odell catch from Monday night last week. And, it's in tight coverage. The throws that were wide open, he was not making. Lamar, that he's a great player in the fact that, he's a special talent, something that we probably haven't seen since Michael Vick, honestly. And honestly, I believe he's more shifty as far as shifty and playmaking ability, and just guys just cannot touch him. He's more so. He's more of he's just as much of a threat, if not a little more, than Vic, honestly, just because the things he was doing was ridiculous. The way you have to count for him it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, he's more of a threat than Michael Vick, but I think we're going to take these MVP talks and throw them out the window because, dude, when he has to throw the ball, it gets ugly. And I was saying this. He faced Arizona without Patrick Peterson and a Pop Warner team in Miami. And everyone was screaming MVP, this guy's legit. Let me read you off some of the stats, okay? He had a 51% completion percentage. Okay, solid. 267 passing yards, but you have to remember they were playing from behind most of the second half, okay? And he had some stupid catches that he just threw the ball up, and it was great plays on the ball. He had 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So he kind of did the Alex Smith thing where, hey, I'm going to try and put us into a position to win the game, but I'm not going to lose us the game. He did not lose them that game. Yeah, he missed a couple balls, but that run game kind of held him in check, kind of boosted that team, him and Mark Ingram. And the QBR, this is where I have a problem. 63.5 QBR. I don't know if you guys know what the limit is. 158.3 is the best you could do. Okay, I don't want him to have a 150, 153 or 158.3. You don't need to have that to win. A 60 QBR can win you a game. Kirk Cousins has. But it's not going to do it against the Chiefs with a high-powered offense who scores almost every time they touch the ball.
Yep. And I agree. You know, I wouldn't say I was screaming Lamar Jackson MVP, but I definitely was ready to give him a crown of a legitimate quarterback in the NFL. And I
Hmm.
honestly still believe he is a legitimate quarterback, but he's not going to be a guy. I mean, he's a legitimate quarterback when the game script says they're within a couple points, they can kind of run the ball,
Yeah.
they can balance it. If you're relying on Lamar Jackson to run a 2-minute offense and throw dots 20 yards down the field, it's just not going to happen.
It reminds me
He'll
a lot
run
like
for
Marcus Mariota.
yeah, same kind of thing. He's just kind of, if you're running a lot of flood concepts, you're rolling him out of the pocket, getting him to throw 10 yards down, 15 yards down the field. He can make those reads. He can adjust and make plays with his feet. But as far as standing in the pocket and just, getting the ball there, driving the ball anywhere, it's not going to happen. I mean, even his arm angles are, it's interesting. He has interesting ways, but you see that hurting him the way he throws like kind
Hmm.
of sidearm. And he got like 2 or 3 balls tipped that almost got picked off because of that. So he's a great athlete, but as far as a quarterback in the NFL and that typical spread offense quarterback who's going to be able to get you 40 yards in 40 seconds, not going to happen.
Hmm.
So just touching on that, just to touch on, you were talking about the Chiefs defense and how the run game was really, an issue for them. And that's something that I would be concerned about because, the Chiefs, they run they were 4-3. So, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. And what they were doing a lot is they kind of were running that nickel. They were bringing another defensive back in to play outside linebacker. I'm pretty sure it's just to account for Lamar's speed. So that kind of hurt him a little
Hmm.
bit too with Ingram and Gus Edwards, who's ridiculous. But it's just this Chiefs run defense is awful. I mean, the way that Ingram was just, he had his way. He had 2 touchdowns. I'm sure he had over 100 yards rushing.
Hmm.
So it just the way that Chiefs defense is just not good enough. I mean, Frank Clark on the outside, he got pressure. I'm pretty sure he had a sack and a half, and he was doing what he could. But it was a week where you got to be concerned about Lamar, so they're more concerned about containing the quarterback and all that. But on the run game, they were just awful. That was one thing that stood out to me. Joe, you have anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, and that's going to happen when you run a nickel because you're sacrificing probably 40, 50 pounds when you take out that
Easily.
outside linebacker and replace him with a DB. But also, I kind of like what they were doing. Yeah, they gave up a lot on the run, but they told Lamar Jackson, okay, throw the ball, kid. Throw it. We're going to run man. You're going to have to – people are going to be open. You just have to fit it in to tight coverage. And he just couldn't do it.
Yep. That's absolutely, and I mean, it was like I said, clear as day. There were some plays that were it was a zone, and he kind of found the weak spot. He
Yeah.
knew it was open, but he couldn't get the ball to him. So,
Mhm.
but then, like you said, there's a lot of man, and they were doing their best to contain him. I mean, there's the one play where he drops the D lineman, and yeah, it looks cool that you drop a guy who weighs 130 pounds more than you, but you got 3 yards on the play, and somebody's probably open downfield, but you have no confidence in your arm. So, in
Mhm.
my book, yeah, the guy fell, but that's a win for the Chiefs every time. I'll take that every day of the week. I mean, if 3 guys fall and you get 2 yards on 2nd and 15, then I'm taking it every day. So
Mhm.
the Lamar thing is cool to watch, but is practical in winning games? I don't know. But again, the Chiefs are a really good team. So this Ravens team is still going to be really
They're
competitive.
good.
So
Yeah, they are a
yeah,
good
it's
team.
not they're my pick to win the AFC North. So it's just a matter of because they even tried to come back at the end, but it was the run game. It was not Lamar's
Mhm.
arm that was getting him there. It was his feet and his ability to keep plays alive. I mean, that's just he's special. He's special, but he's not arm talent special. He's
He's an
special in the
athlete,
fact that he's exactly.
a freak athlete,
Um,
and it comes down to the ultimate question.
mhm.
I personally, you could either have a quarterback or an athlete. Okay, I prefer a quarterback. And Lamar is an athlete. Every time you have one or the other, you try to turn them into the other so that they're both. So right now they have an athlete at quarterback, and they're trying to make him also a quarterback, which I think is possible. He's shown the flashes against crap teams, but he has to step up against the big dogs.
Yep, that's what it's going to come down to. And I mean, it's kind of a little unfair to him just because of the fact that he went from legitimately two of a bottom 10 team in week 2, and then in week 1, the worst team in the NFL,
Yeah.
to arguably the best team in the NFL.
The speed
And
ramped up.
yeah, very quickly, very quickly. But they didn't fold. You can't say they folded completely.
No, they did not at all.
They just
He kept them
get
in
the
the game.
job done. Yep, yep. And that's what he's gonna have to do. They're gonna be good, and he's gonna win a lot of games for him. They're gonna be a good team. They're gonna be
Yeah.
well over 500. So, but
Everything I said about the linebacking core, Ryan Greenhouse, I apologize. This Ravens defense is solid.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, the biggest thing with it is when you play, which brings us to the next point, the Chiefs' offense is ridiculous. The
Mm-hmm.
offense is absolute. I don't think I have ever watched a game where I just knew that something special could happen on offense every single time. It's almost like it's the same as watching like a Patriots with Moss, like that kind of
Yeah.
offense, or even watching the Patriots against the Dolphins with Antonio Brown. They're like these like an offense that is just so special. There's no, Patrick Mahomes is
There
ridiculous. He reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger when Roethlisberger first started, but he's way better. He is way better,
way more
and
athletic.
he
Bigger
spreads
arm.
the ball. He doesn't. The only person he might force feed is Kelsey a tiny bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it's because Kelsey's he's the
Top 2 tight
horse.
end. Top 3 tight end.
Easily, if not the best. I mean, this guy's ridiculous. He was getting the ball. Hill goes down. Now Hardman's playing. Robinson had a touchdown. Harmon had a touchdown. Robinson had a touchdown. Hardman, you can use him just like Tariq Hill. You can
Mm-hmm.
put him in motion, run him on. There was one play where it was a like reverse. It wasn't. It was like a toss to Hardman almost, and then he cuts it back across field, gets 12 yards out of it. Like this, there's just so many things you can do. Shady and Williams look great on the ground. They both had plenty of opportunities. It was good. It was good. And like in Baltimore, their defense is not bad. The linebacking core isn't bad because there were times where Williams got stuffed up. But this Chiefs offense is ridiculous. I don't see any. I don't see it. How you can stop them?
This is an offense where there's not one skilled player on that field right now. There's not one skilled player on that field that can't score, and that's scary. You have Williams, backup Williams, coming in and breaking a 49-yard rush. Come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Kansas City is ridiculous. I mean, it's the way I would look at it is it's a perfect spread offense. You have a quarterback who has a cannon, can throw the ball anywhere. I mean, accuracy from 30 anywhere on the field is almost perfect. I mean, his arm angles, he knows when to use the sidearm angle. He knows not to like abuse it too much. He knows when to kind of stand tall in the pocket. He can move in the pocket. He's the perfect spread quarterback. He can get 10 yards for you or a first down if nobody's going to account for him. And I think it'll be an issue later in his career just because Patty's a big boy. He's not small. So I think that's going to be an issue, and he's going to have to turn into more of a getting rid of the ball a little quicker.
Yeah.
When he gets older. But for now, they run a lot of – it's just a perfect spread offense. They're going to be in the gun a lot, all the time. He's really never under center. And they're going to show you everything. They're going to run trips. They're going to run 5 wide. And Patty's going to hurt you in everything. There's nothing that you can say when they come out in this, we don't have to worry about it, or this is what they're going to run. They can run RPO almost at every formation. It's a perfect spread offense. The Chiefs run a perfect spread.
Yes, this is what the Chip Kelly Philadelphia Eagles wanted to look like.
Yeah, something like that.
Before they traded away everyone for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, it's almost not similar. I say there's not as much because an Oregon offense right now kind of runs like that, but it's not. College offenses run a little more pistol. Yeah. But this Chiefs perfect spread. That's the best way to describe it. Perfect spread. And next week they got the Lions. So I expect 50-plus points, honestly. 40. I say they score. I say they put up 40.
Take the over.
Yeah, whatever it is, because there's gonna be a lot.
I have them all written down, so when we transfer to talking about the games, I'll go over those too.
But the over in this Chiefs Lions game is going to be big because they're just going to score left and right. I mean, if Kyler Murray can score 17 points in the fourth quarter against the Lions, then Patrick Mahomes is going to do awful things to that defense. But Matt Stafford, we're going to see how good Breland and Tyrann Mathieu are this week because he's not it's not going to be easy. Him and Marvin Jones are going to have it's going to be a good game to watch. That's going to be a shootout. If the over isn't like 60-some for that game, I'd be very surprised. But all right. So moving on. Let's get right to it. Let's go to the review of our record so far, and we'll go over our best and worst picks of the week.
Yep.
And then we will make our picks. So my record right now is 27-20-1, and that is not great, but this has been an interesting year. So I'll leave it at that. And Joe, you want to talk about your record?
Yeah, I'm currently sitting at 30-17-1 because we had that tie with Detroit and the Cardinals. No one could have predicted that. I gotta say my worst pick, and I think we share the worst pick, and it's because whenever we give them that little bit of hope, that little bit of chance, they crush our hearts. It's the Falcons. Why? Why do the Falcons do this?
I have no idea.
You come out, you beat the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. Was it Thursday Night Football? Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night, yeah, Sunday night.
And then you come out and lay an egg against a good Colts team. This is a good Colts team, but not possibly 2 Hall of Famers good. T.Y. got hurt. Prayers up. But you just can't win with this offense. Yeah, you lost Keanu O'Neal. Prayers up to him too. Torn Achilles. Terrible situation. But Dan Quinn, you're a defensive mastermind. Stop Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Falcons, worst pick.
I think. Where am I going? I don't even know where to go on my worst pick. I mean, I could say yeah. I was gonna say the Eagles, but the Eagles just drops. Nelson Aguilar got to catch the ball.
They're hurt,
but yeah, and you can't really say that's a bad. It's just you expect. I say the Falcons. Falcons you got to win. You beat a legitimate Philadelphia team. You got to find a way to beat the Colts. The Colts are not a bad team. We said we both said they were going to be fine. Yeah. Colts fans shouldn't be panicking like Jets fans are right now. But
nah, we got
those things. Yeah, same thing. Can't really control it. But yeah, so just moving on. Best pick, my best pick, the Giants.
I know.
You're going to take that. Called it.
They should have lost.
Dimes.
They should have lost. No.
Danny Dimes.
Relax.
Danny Dimes.
No, relax. Okay. Giants fans, the same Giants fans who told me to relax when Sam Darnold dropped almost 300 against the Detroit Lions and came back from a pick on the first play of his NFL career, telling me to relax. Okay. So you know what? Danny Dimes, he comes in, he does a good job. Yeah, he did great, dude. He made a lot of reads. He had a lot of time. And if the Jets could open up pockets like that for Sam Darnold, I don't know what we'd be talking about right now. Daniel Jones walked into the end zone on that last play he had. And they still should have lost. Mike Evans is ridiculous. But I will give it to you. You picked the Giants. Bucs should have won, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the Bucs aren't a bad team either, honestly. They're just, Jameis makes mistakes, but they can cover him because when he makes plays, he still makes plays. People love talking about the bad in Jameis.
Outside of week 1, Jameis has been fine.
Yeah, he's a perfectly normal, he's almost kind of how Bridgewater steps in and he's just not bad.
That loss isn't even on the kicker; it's on Bruce Arians.
Yeah,
who took a delay a game and said, "Oh, I thought he'd make it from farther away. He's more comfortable there." No, if that was 5 yards farther up, they make it, and we're not. Well, we're talking about Daniel Jones. Oh, great game, but they're still 0-3. No, they're 1-2 now because.
But 1-0 under Daniel Jones starting. So.
Come on, dude, relax. Just wait till they play the Patriots.
Hey, I called that Jones was the real deal, and
we both did. I'm rooting for him. It's just I apologize to all Giants fans out there, but I was at the gym, right, and I had my Jets hat on. This guy saw me, and it was back in bye day, great day, having a great time, and he walks up to me and he goes, "Glad we got our guy. Must be frustrating to not have yours still, huh?" I said, dude, we have Sam Darnold. We literally have the top QB in last year's draft. Relax. Okay, it's some of the fans that just make me want to root against this kid, even though I said in first podcast that he's the best QB in this draft.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have no issue with the Giants. Love Saquon, love Odell, love Evan Ingram, but it is literally Giants fans who have absolutely no reason to hate the Jets other than the fact that they have been the better franchise as of very, recent, not very recent, but as of recent. So, that's the part that makes it annoying. You got to deal with Giants fans, but that's my best pick of the week. I'll just leave it at that. And Joe, you can talk about yours or we can go on to the picks. It's up to you.
I'll just mention my best pick. I'm stuck between San Fran and the Saints. We both picked up opposite of each other, but probably the Saints just because they didn't have I know you're thinking they didn't have Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater might not be, but he looked perfect. He looked up to speed. Give him that full week of preparation. The Saints team with Alvin Kamara going nuts. It's like rewatching Barry Sanders. It's scary, dude. The things this guy does with the ball.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, right. I was thinking, the Seahawks have been playing pretty good football. They'd be able to. I mean, he still played. It was a good. I mean, honestly, the game was not as close as the score showed.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it was not. The Saints
Russell Wilson
definitely
went off.
Yeah, at the end of the game to kind of it wasn't that close of a game till the fourth quarter. It got a little better, but Alvin Kamara in the second and third was ridiculous. This guy, like you said, it's scary watching him. He's special. He's special. So
move
all
on
right,
to
Joe.
picks.
Yep, week four.
All right, week 4, guys. We are at the quarter mark of the NFL season. Thursday night football, Philadelphia and Green Bay. Green Bay's favored -4.5. Philadelphia's banged up, but it's hard to think that Doug Peterson's going to drop 3 in a row. What do you think about this one?
I still think that Eagles team being banged up is going to be a little bit. I got the Packers. Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. They're playing decent football. It's going to be close. Things going to be a good game. Can't wait to watch it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going Packers on this one.
I think I'm going to go Philadelphia just because, number one, I want to be different, a little different than you. Yeah, we always have 1 or 2 picks, but I really think that this Eagles defense is going to step up. I do. It's one of those 50-50 games. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to take a risk on this one. I'm going Philadelphia.
Yep.
Next, we're going to go into Sunday games. Carolina and Houston. I got Houston -5. They are right now.
You got Houston, you said?
I got Houston and Deshaun Watson is ridiculous.
Yeah, Joe, I'm following you on that one. That's definitely a Houston.
Like some like the Green Bay game is like 50-50. Oh yeah, we'll split, I guess. But like this is just common sense. You got to go at Houston. Kyle Allen might be abused back there.
Yeah.
Next game. Cleveland Ravens. I'm going Ravens, and they are favored by 7 points.
Yeah, I gotta go Ravens here too. They didn't look great, but they look good enough against the Chiefs to make me think that they're gonna beat the Browns. So I'm going Ravens.
Yeah. Well, can we stop and talk about this game just for a second?
Yep.
Do you agree? There are a lot of memes right now that Baker Mayfield is overrated. Do you agree with those?
I don't say he's overrated. I just think that, this Cleveland team, a lot of people, when you put stars all on the same team, it's going to be an issue. And, kind of draws comparison. Well, I mean, you're crossing sports here, and it's going to sound stupid, but not really. When the Heat first got together and Wade and Bosh and LeBron were all together and they couldn't figure it out, and they were everybody was going crazy. Like, it takes time. Football it's a team game. It's not, Njoku's hurt now. The defense is nowhere near what they thought they were going to be. So I just think you gotta give him some time. Give him some time, they'll be fine. I mean, he's not overrated. I think he's going through a little slump right now, just because he's trying to adjust. He's not used to having the weapons at his disposal. And I know that sounds kind of stupid. It sounds stupid because you're thinking like, oh, you add more guys, you'll be better. But that's not how it works all the time. So I mean, he's good. Baker's not a bad quarterback. He's not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think they're going to be all right. I don't know. I think this is going to be a close game. They were Baker Mayfield stepping up in the pocket and running forward for 5 yards away from tying that game against the Rams.
Yep.
So, you know what?
Let's not act like the Rams are bad. Let's not act like, they should have beat the Rams. Like, this is the Super Bowl losing team. This is not a bad team. It's Sean McVay, so, yeah.
Even though Sean McVay on Sunday nights before last night was 0-3 counting the Super Bowl. So they do not show up to play on Sunday nights, and that's statistically, except for this game, Cooper Kupp went off. I think they missed him. Next game, Kansas City and Detroit. We already talked about this. Kansas City might put up 70 points.
Yeah, hopefully. It would be great if that game was like 60-50. I would love to see that. But
Kansas City's only favored by 6 points, and the over. If you're gonna bet. Listen, we're gonna take a step back away from betting because we're obviously really bad at it. But the over is 53.5 points. So if you think Kansas City is gonna put up 30 and Detroit could put up 20, like just I'd take it. I think that's a good
Yeah,
bet.
that over is a great bet. That'll definitely be part of my $5 parlay for me
I
donating
won.
my
I
five
won this
dollars.
week. I'm so mad that I didn't share that we didn't have a show. It was just a
Yeah, would
2-team
you?
parlay, and I won. I did Kansas City to cover. No, I did Kansas City to just win, and then Cincy to cover against the Bills, and I
Yeah,
got $60 from it. Next game, Los Angeles Chargers versus Miami. Another game where we might see 80 points. So
yeah, the
Chargers with
Chargers.
and no time
Yeah,
on it. Miami is a Pop Warner team. Patriots, Buffalo. This is going to be a good game. Patriots are favored by 7 points, and
it,
betting against
I
Tom
don't.
Brady isn't good. So I'm going to
Yeah,
pass.
no, the Bills are not winning the game. That is not
Mm-hmm.
happening. But good game though. Should be a good
Yeah.
game.
Next game, Oakland and Indy. This is tough. I want to hear yours first.
I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking it. Well, okay. I'll put it this way. This is one where if Ty is playing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Colts. If Ty is not playing, I'm taking the Raiders. So that is one that I will literally wait until that injury report comes out because that is so important.
Do we know if that
so
injury is
huge.
serious?
I have him on my fantasy team, and they're saying questionable, and he came out after – he didn't play the rest of the game just before – he got hurt just before halftime.
I thought it was a serious injury.
So they said it's his quad, and I don't think they know much yet, but I think he didn't practice Monday, which usually means that he's probably not good, but we'll see. We'll see.
And a quad injury, you don't want to – either way, with T.Y. Hilton, I
yeah.
still can see Indy pulling it out, but I'm going to go Oakland. I really love this Darren Waller kid. Derek Carr is looking solid, and they got a good rookie running back.
Yeah, I just looked up the report on Hilton. He said, if I can play, I'll play. And he said he was feeling better today. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's not going to come out and say, yeah, I feel really bad. Probably not going to play. No, you want to keep the Raiders defense guessing. We're going to have to prepare for him in case he plays.
Just in case.
So then we got the Titans and Atlanta. Listen, I want to say Atlanta. I do. I really do. But I just don't know anymore. I'm going Tennessee just because Atlanta, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of that.
Joe, after what the Titans did to us on this past Thursday, I got to go. I'm going Atlanta again, and I'm going to probably lose it again. But Matt Ryan and Julio, please. Please.
I want to take Atlanta. The common sense is Atlanta here.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going there.
I refuse to bet with them. I refuse to count on them ever again. I'm never going to do it. Washington and the New York Giants. New York Giants picked a great time for Daniel Jones to come in. You got the Bucks, solid defense, but you could carve them up if you could throw the ball. Cam Newton couldn't do that against them. So they look a lot better than they actually are. And then now they got Washington, who laid an egg last night. They showed some life in the second half. If they didn't show life, I'm pretty sure Jay Gruden would have been fired last night. I hate it because I know the fans are gonna wow out when they win, but I'm going Giants.
I'm going Giants too, Joe. Come on now, I love this guy. I love this Daniel guy.
I like him. I wish nothing but the best for Daniel Jones. I just hope the fan base puts tape over their mouth.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So next game, I think we're moving to the 4:00 games. Seattle and Arizona. This is like Russell Wilson is looking into a mirror right now at Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is really good. He's extremely fast. The first play, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I forgot who they played week 2. But he did this little rollout thing on the first play from scrimmage, and me and my dad just looked at each other and our eyes wide. And it was like, he is fast, dude. This kid is fast.
He was moving. That was against the Ravens.
But I got to go with Russell Wilson. He put up 41 points fantasy. Shout out him. Still lost by 30, even though I put up 180 points. Guy had a dream team. I'm going Seattle -5.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks too. Kyler's great, love him, but this Seahawks team's a good team. They're gonna be a playoff team for sure.
Yeah, and now another one that's pretty easy. We don't got to spend much time on it. Rams Tampa. I think this could be a blowout.
Yeah,
it's not a Sunday night game, and Cooper Kupp will put up 300 yards. Jacksonville, Denver. I got Jacksonville. I'm going with Minshew Mania.
Yeah, I'm going Beowulf Minshew here. The second, he's the real. He's not the real deal, but he's fun to watch. Even though I have a vendetta against him because last year they officially took Oregon out of any relevance when they beat them. So there's
Relax.
that.
Get
But
that dude his porn sponsorship.
yeah, this guy's yeah.
He
Beowulf,
deserves it.
Beowulf's getting his dove against the struggling
And I
Broncos.
do want to stop and talk. Your favorite player, Von Miller. What's up with that
Yes.
defense? They're the only team in the past 50 years, that hasn't had either a turnover or a sack this season. What's up with that?
See, with them, I think the issue is they they drop Chubb and Vaughn a lot more. They're not both coming off the edge, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they do not trust their secondary. Uh, Harris isn't who he was at one point. And they're a linebacker. They're hurting at linebacker too. They're just not. It's just not what they're used to. That defense is not the Keep Talib, Harris, Miller, Marshall defense that they want.
Yeah, it makes you think. Why the hell did they drop Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, I don't get that. That doesn't. I mean, it's got to be. Usually, when you see something like that, there's a reason. Maybe he didn't pass the physical or something. So, I mean, usually that's the case. But yeah, I don't. I have no clue. I have no idea what's going on. I mean,
right now, I think all the blame goes on Fangio. This guy's supposed to be a defensive mastermind. He came in and you were laying an egg.
Man. Yeah, that's true.
As Emmanuel Sanders said, they're in a world of suck right now, and they will stay in that world of suck when they lose to Jacksonville.
Yeah, for sure.
Minnesota, Chicago. This is a tough one for me because I want Mitchell Trubisky to be so good, and he's just so bad.
He's painfully below. He's not. I was gonna say average. He's below average. He's a below average quarterback at this point. And like I said, I like him.
But, I keep watching and I'm like, yo, this week is going to be the week he gets back on track. They're going to look like the Bears of last year. This defense is ridiculous. I was going to bet that the defense was going to score points first yesterday, and I was like, nah, I don't want to waste $5. I would have made so much money. I think Chicago could hold them in there. And you know what? I don't like the matchup with Xavier Rhodes. I got to go Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota too here, Joe. I think that Minnesota team, Thielen is he can play. He can play some football. He's pretty good. And Dalvin Cook's probably the best running back in football. So
one of them, yeah.
I'm gonna go Minnesota, and I'm gonna I hope that it's a high scoring game because now that Saquon's hurt, I need David Montgomery to carry my team, but in fantasy, I'm going Vikings. I'm going Vikings on this one.
All right, and before we move on to the next game, I just want to point out that there are two teams on a bye this week. It's the New York Jets and 49ers, so that's why we haven't talked about either of those teams. Now I'm going to make a lot of people angry. Dallas, New Orleans. New Orleans is going to beat Dallas.
Yep, I agree. New Orleans is going to beat Dallas, and New Orleans – Bridgewater proved to me that he can facilitate this offense enough to still be very scary. So that is all I needed to see. And Cowboys, there's just not. Maybe if Zeke was the Zeke we thought he was, maybe. But if you're going to lean on Dak, no.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same.
It's their big three versus their big three. I think New Orleans, even without Drew Brees, with Teddy Bridgewater, is better than I think Bridgewater is better than Dak. I think Michael Thomas is better than Amari Cooper, and Alvin Kamara is better than Zeke. Sue me. We're going to move on.
Yes. Super hot take there. Super hot. I'm not agreeing with all of that statement, but I think overall those three are definitely better. Yeah, definitely overall.
All right, Monday Night Football, I want to hear your take first. Cincy, Pittsburgh. Do you want Pittsburgh to break your heart again?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to. I'm going to go with the Steelers. They lost by 3 points, and the 49ers are a solid football team. The Steelers they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Mason Rudolph's going to do it. Juju is going to do it. James Conner's garbage, but he's going to do it with Samuels, who's the better running back. They're going to do it.
All right. You're going to be so upset with me.
Well, I know you're going to pick the Bengals.
I'm going Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Just because they played a legitimate team last week in the Bills, and they did a great job. This
it was a great
defense,
game.
this Bills defense is legit. No matter, it's the Buffalo Bills, but they need to start losing for the benefit of society. There are people getting put through chairs, blowing themselves up with fireworks, ripping beer cans with their mouth and getting surgery because this is ridiculous. Bills Mafia needs to relax. If the Bills need to start being a losing team or else America's going to suffer for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're done. This is the apocalypse of the Bills. If the Bills win this game, if they find a way to beat the Patriots this week, I will be speechless.
We need to quarantine America.
Yeah, because they're gonna lose it. But Joe, imagine if the Jets were playing and then Joe, the Bills' schedule. I mean, they play the Titans next week, and then after that they have a bye. I'm pretty sure. And then after the bye week, they are playing the Dolphins.
This is real. This is Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. If the Bills win,
it won't be worse than Philly. It won't be worse than Philly, but
lock your doors, lock your windows, and just stay inside if the Bills beat the Patriots. Because it's going to be a long season.
Yeah. But yeah.
That'll close this. That'll close it out. The picks. I'm going Cincy over Pittsburgh.
All right, Joe. Well, are you stepping away from the parlays this week, or do you want to just throw one out there?
I'm stepping away from the parlays, but I will give a few bets. I do like the over in the Chiefs game. I like the over in the Miami-Los Angeles game. It's only 44. And Miami has been giving up 49 points a game.
That's a great bet right there.
So, if you think the Chargers could put up 44 points, which with Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers, I think that's very well possible. And then I like Denver's favored, actually, -3. So I like Jacksonville +3.
Yeah, I think I like that too. I think if you went over Chiefs, if you went over with the Chargers, then I would take the Patriots and I would go Jack spread. That's what I'm going to put my money on. So
yeah, and you know what?
We'll see.
And if don't even parlay them, just do separate bets and make smaller amounts of money.
Yep, you're probably better.
Parlays, you will waste your money if you go over 3 teams.
Yeah, almost guaranteed. I have learned
That's why I did a 2-team parlay. I'm tired of these multiple team parlays. I just keep losing money. I'm giving my money to Vegas.
Yeah, literally, FanDuel just withdraws $5 from me every Sunday. But it's so all right, and we're gonna go to our last segment. We talk about our college football teams. We're talking about a little bit of fantasy. I have a little more to say about fantasy, so we're gonna start with that. I drafted the best team known to man. I have Patrick Mahomes, I have Antonio Brown, and I have Saquon Barkley. And one of those 3 is playing in week 4. That is all I'm going to say about that. So, it was fun while it lasted. My fantasy season was great while it lasted.
I drafted the greatest sleeper team in history.
So 2-1, right?
Yeah, I'm 2-1. I had both Drew Brees and Sam Darnold both went down, so I picked up Phillip Rivers. This isn't only one of my leagues. I have Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, Mark Ingram, Devontae Freeman, Will Disley, and Darren Waller. So I'm balling out.
And Will Disley. Yep. And that's the thing. Will Disley's so good. He's so good. He's what does he score? 15. He scored 15 plus last 2 weeks.
He got me almost 20 points.
That's what I'm telling. And Will Wilson uses him, man. He's one from UW.
And really Darren Waller will consistently put up 30 points if it's a PPR league. It's scary.
Joe, your team. If it worked, it's working right now.
It was all in the waiver wire because my team started off.
See, people don't understand that waiver wire can help you out. And honestly, I should be able to get Gallman this week. So if I can get Gallman tomorrow morning, I should be good. And then we're gonna play from there. I'm not gonna be bad. I mean, I played Mike Evans this week, so go figure. And Hunter Henry's out for the season.
I played Mike Evans in one of my leagues, but he also had Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
he put up 220 points against me. It was Ryan Wilson's team, and I had a great team. I put up 180 points. I have Russell Wilson, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, Nick Chubb, David Montgomery, Austin Hooper, Cooper Kupp, and I still just couldn't win. Oh, my God. I'm going to win this week. I have the best team in that fantasy league. I'm sorry, I'm going to win the $200, $400, whatever it is, in the FDU fantasy league. I apologize for that.
Yeah,
I'm not trading
I
with
gotta
you.
get in that one. I gotta get in that one next year. We gotta kick one of those scrubs out of there, Joe. We gotta get some. I know there's some scrub in there, but all right. So we're gonna go. We're gonna keep moving.
I'm looking at you,
Go
Jeff Duff.
So we're gonna go right to the last thing we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about my boy Justin Herbert, future first overall pick in the 2020 draft. And, just to update, 259 yards, 19 for 24. A lot of short passes this week. Got out of Stanford. Got out of there. Got out of the Cardinal with a dub. Went there, took a little dub. 3 touchdowns by King Herbert. Things are good. We got 2 big games coming up. We got Cal next week, and then we got Washington the following week. Got to win. Or in 3 weeks. But you got to win. Got to win out. Oregon's got to win out. We're going to be in the college football playoff. We're going to blow out Notre Dame, blow out Georgia in the chip, and that's it. You feel me? That's it.
Whoa.
That's it.
Well, just before we sign off, I'm going to make the argument that Notre Dame should be at least a number 4 in the playoff if Georgia makes it. Because that was a great game. Everyone was expecting Notre Dame. I thought we were going to get blown out. Ian Book looked like crap the past 2 times he put on a Notre Dame uniform. I'm always wet like I'm Book. Like, I got my boys back. Best Instagram in the game. But, for real, he balled out. He showed that, hey, you know what? I won't lose us a game in big time times,
Yeah, and I mean that Georgia's ridiculous as a program.
That run
they're
game's
becoming
ridiculous. If Notre Dame doesn't fall asleep in the third quarter, we win the game.
Yeah, and Georgia just continues to have. I mean, I read something this past week. They had over 50 4- and 5-star recruits come to that game. Like all Georgia, they all came for Georgia. So this is they just have. It's that Alabama kind of recruiting. That thing they got going on right now. Them, Clemson, Alabama just take every 4- and 5-star. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy down there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
One more thing. Also, Ian Book, he has to limit the turnovers. 2 big interceptions, but he had 2 touchdowns. Jake Fromm's ridiculous. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the offense when you want to play a game, okay? They lost 23-17. When you play a football game, you always want that chance where you control your own destiny. No matter how much time's left, you want that final chance to, even though you're losing, to drive down with a chance to win the game. They have that. They had that. Okay? And that's all you want, and they failed. They came up short. It might have been 20 yards short, 40 yards short, but they showed that they could compete with the best of the best, and they better make the playoffs or else I might off myself. Because the Jets got to pick it up, dude. This is really ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad.
All of my favorite teams.
Well, the Jets, when we get after the bye week, let's pick up the Jets after the bye week. Hopefully, Lev's doing his best to try to be positive. Jamal's upset, and rightfully so.
But the good thing is, we ranked right now as it stands. We have the easiest schedule from here on. We got the 1 and 2 Eagles, and then we got Dallas, who is a beatable team. And I think we'll see that this week. So just get healthy, and I'll see you next week.
Well, all right, guys. This has been the Playbook with Rob and Hack. You can find Joe at Joe Hackett _ on Instagram. You can find Joe at Joey Sizz on SoundCloud. New Hack is about to be ridiculous. Joe, I have never been more excited to hear a song ever in my life. I swear to God.
No, but listen to the one that already dropped, Words. That's exactly.
Yes,
tough.
Words is out. Words is out. Listen to Words. But I'm telling you, there is something so special in the making right now.
I gotta shout you out, son.
But so Joe's find him on SoundCloud. Joey Sizz, Artistic Mind. Joey Sizz. Find Sports Opinions Podcast at Sports Opinions 30 on Instagram, at Sports Opinions on Twitter. Find me at Rob Planner Jr. on Twitter. Find me at REPJR on Instagram. And that's a wrap. See you next week.
SMDU, baby.